Hi everyone, this is Dov Hershkovich. I'm here joined by Nadia Sotnikova, our UX design. This is the Pipeline Authoring 15.3 kickoff video. We go ahead and share our planning issue. So as always, we do have a planning issue number 67 underneath the Pipeline Authoring group, where we discuss the scope of this milestone. The goals of this milestone is there is one main goal, which is improving our secret management integration by moving the JWT OpenID token from alpha to GA. And so we have one last front-end issue that we want to complete, and we can do that. But let me just dive into this issue and explain a little bit what does it mean. The OpenID Connect is an internet standard for authenticating against different parties, and the JWT is the token that will enable this authentication. Right now, today, GitLab support the JWT token, which is not OpenID Connect, which means that your workflows are less secure. The OpenID Connect provide another layer or improve the compliance of your workflow, and we are doing it in few methods. The method number one, up until today, the JWT token was available as a variable across all your pipelines and all your jobs, which means that all you need is one compromised job for this token to be leaked. Now, there is no real need for this token to be shared across all your jobs in your pipeline, because there are specific jobs that needs to be authenticated against different third parties. So the first thing that we are doing is allowing users to opt in the token. So whenever they want to use the token, they need to declare that token for a specific job. And it is listed in the backend issue here. So whenever you have a job name, you declare, use the secret keyword, and then you give a name, and this is the name of a variable which will be used as the token. And so this is the first layer. The second layer is configuring the audience claim. Now the audience claim, so the JWT token has different claims. The audience claim is this is where you specify where you want to authenticate against. Up until today, in the old method, we didn't have a way to configure the audience claim, which means that if you use the JWT token, you could actually use it against any other third party, which is not secure, because again, if this token is leaked, it can be used against different third parties. And with the audience claim, you can scope and narrow exactly where you want this token to be authenticated against. So this is the second layer of protection that we'll have. One is opting in the token, two is configuring the audience claim. And this entire work, as I mentioned, we have two versions of the token. We will allow users to opt in for the most secured way, because we want to make sure we maintain backward compatibility. So whoever used the old method, which is not really recommended, it will still be able to do that. But if someone will want to use the OpenID Connect with the extra layer of protection, will need to opt in that token. But this opt-in will be available until the end of the major milestone. So by next year, this will be the default and the only way to use the token. So we'll give our users enough time to adjust and change their pipeline and change the way they authenticate and using the JWT token. But by the end of 16.0, so probably toward next year, there won't be the switch button won't be available, and this will be the only way to authenticate and use the JWT token. So we'll obviously announce it as a part of a breaking changes, but for now, user will be able to opt in the token. This is the main focus of the milestone. Of course, we have more work that is building more foundations around the way we are using variable, but this is something that we'll discuss in the next iteration, also in the next milestone. I'm going to hand it over now to Nadia. She's going to talk about the scope of work for UX. Take it away, Nadia.
Thanks, Dov. Hey everyone. So in 15.3, I will be continuing work on the private pipelines component MVC. So it's a very exciting effort that has been underway for several milestones now. We've just finished solution validation for our MVC proposal for a private catalog of pipeline components that would allow you to publish pipeline components that would be private within your organization. So a pipeline component that you publish inside your top level group would be available to all projects within that group. So I will be continuing the iteration on the designs and discussions with the engineers as we're getting ready for implementation in the next few milestones. Next, I will be working on the design for this issue that will allow you to lift or like manage the limit for the parsed YAML size in your project. So currently GitLab limits the parsed YAML size in your project, and some of our customers are hitting this limitation. So we want to add a setting that allows you to manage that limit. Another issue has to do with surfacing information about runner setup during CI/CD onboarding. So as you're onboarding with CI/CD, if you are a self-managed user, you will need to set up your own runner. If you are a SaaS user, you will probably have access to shared runners, but they can also be disabled, in which case you will still have to set up your own runners. So we need to surface this information during CI/CD onboarding at some point before you start creating your pipeline configuration, because we don't want users to have failed pipelines because they don't have runners set up yet. So it's the step that they have to complete first. So we will be making it part of your CI/CD onboarding flow. The other issue is a research issue that I will be working on. As we're starting our work around secrets management, I'll be doing a meta-analysis research diving into all of the existing research issues that we've completed around secrets management and validating our secrets jobs to be done to prepare us for their work to come and for category maturity scorecard in the future. So if you have any questions or suggestions around this work in 15.3, feel free to ping me in these issues and I'll be happy to chat with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nadia. I think that's it. Hope everyone find this recording useful. And as always, if you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, feel free to ping me, Nadia, or the team on the planning issue. Thank you and goodbye.